Hi, Trev here. Now and again, we will throw you a bite-sized chunk of the longer interviews we do here on the Hanslope Show podcast. And one of them being recently Les McClean. Now, Les McClean, he looked after the wreck for quite a few years on behalf of the parish council. And at the same time as Queen Elizabeth II made a private visit to Hanslope Park. And on the 6th of April 2017. Now, when I had a chat with Les, he told me a story of that famous day here in Hanslope when the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh came to our village.
The Hanslope Show podcast. Your village, your podcast. It's all about Hanslope.
When I had the joy, I say the joy, it was that I was totally unaware of what was happening because I was walking around the village in my caretaker role. And when I went back to the recreation ground, there was two gentlemen actually standing in the middle of the wreck. And so I thought, well, that's a bit strange. Two chaps standing, what's going on? So I did approach them, but one of the gentlemen came over to me and introduced himself as being Thames Valley Police. And how could they have access to the recreation ground? So I thought, more or less, get in touch with the parish council. And then basically then we'll see from there. 2 or 3 days later, I had a phone call from Martin Wotton, again introducing to himself Thames Valley Police, and he said that they needed to have access to the recreation ground. I can't exactly remember the date, to be quite honest. And I said, yeah, that's fair enough, Martin. I'll meet you down there at, say, 1:30, somewhere around there. So the day approached. I actually put round a note on, because I realised then it was going to be an helicopter or whatever.
Sure.
Because we've had other visits before for the park.
Yes. So I know that obviously Boris Johnson has
right.
landed there.
He went into the school. He landed in the school.
Yes.
We'd had Prince Charles as he was before.
Yes. Now, were you aware of who was going to land?
No,
right.
No idea whatsoever. So I arranged to meet Martin, and he said that he'd arranged for Thames Valley Police to actually do this, that and everything. And I put round a note on the entrances, because he asked me how many entrances there were to the recreation ground, so they could actually guard those entrances, basically. So I put round a note saying that the spraying of the recreation ground, please keep out. I thought that was very clever until people were coming on saying, well, they'd done that a few weeks ago, well, they're doing it again. Oh, no. So on the day, I actually was going down the wreck and went round, and the first viewing, all I could see was 3 Range Rovers with numerous gentlemen with sunglasses, and I thought, oh, this is a wee bit different.
Yeah.
And there was another Land Rover, a Range Rover, over in the corner. And so Martin approached me, explained that there's going to be a helicopter coming in, and he's going to hand over the duties to this other gentleman who's going to be more or less the air traffic control sort of thing. Right. He's taken over control of the recreation ground. By this time, although it's a secret, there were people appearing. The word may have got out even from Hanslope Park, what was that?
Sure.
But I was still clueless.
Yeah.
Until I actually said to the gentleman about the what's happening. So I let him into from the car park. I'd got the key to actually let him through.
Yeah.
Do not lose that key. I'm prone to losing keys, but I had this key in my hand. So I let him onto the recreation ground, and I said, well, who is actually coming? In my mind, I had it as the Prime Minister. I do not know why. I just thought it was going to be the Prime Minister. And then he said, well, she will be leaving Windsor Castle at, I would say, 20 to 3 and getting here at 3 o'clock. 20 minutes flying time from Windsor. Then instantly, again, I thought, it's Princess Anne. I'm thinking, oh, wow. But then that quickly changed to, it most certainly cannot be the Queen. And the chap still wouldn't say. He sort of more or less, that's a very important person I've got to come. Oh, my word.
Wow.
And then at 23, just before, you see this yellow dot, the other side of the actual church. And it was really quite, because there's quite a few people around by then.
Yeah.
I think the children had come up from the school.
I think they had, but I think my kids were at school, I'm pretty sure.
I think they took up the play school. There was people from Lincoln Court. I didn't know, and I'd got the key to get in. So, there were various people who perched around. There was Thames Valley stopping the police and everything. Then the royal car turned up, and I'd padlocked everything. So I was the person to let this car in. Martin Wootton were giving me the nod, can you go? Yes. Yeah. I was shaking by this time. Then the helicopter landed, and it's then the Queen, the late Queen, got out into the car, and then the Prince Philip as well. Mm-hmm. So they both drove off with a police escort and whatever. And so again, I had to secure the recreation ground with this one key.
Okay, yeah.
And then wait for their return. But Martin actually said to me, he said, do you want to go over and talk or look at the helicopter? I said, well, I don't know what I'll be looking at, but I'll nip over there and have a recce. Yeah. So when I got over there, 2 pilots, and so they told me how much it was worth and where they were going afterwards. Very informative, but it was going in one ear and out the other. And I thought I'd better ask them one question. I did say that being as I marked the football pitch out, could I ask you a question about when you was coming in actually to land, bearing in mind this was late on in the season, early season when you mark a football pitch out, they're straight lines and round circles and whatever, because by the end of the season, the centre circle is usually like an Easter egg. It's not exactly like the circle. So I said to him, how bad were the markings actually when you flew over? And he said, to be quite honest, he said, the first thing we were trying to do was actually miss the church. And the second thing is we had a rather valuable cargo in the back seats. So I couldn't possibly tell you what your pitch markings were like. So that's my experience with the Queen. And as soon as she came back and left, they had sniffer dogs and everything as well. Yeah. And it was mayhem. It was absolutely... And by the time she had left again in the helicopter, all of the police disappeared, all within 10 minutes. It was surreal. There was nobody.
Bizarre the logistics that go
that's right.
just for landing for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And she could have been locked in or locked out of the recreation ground through that one key.
One key. It was your job, Les.
My sweaty hands. It's never been the same ever since. Can I say that?
I think, you just have. So it was down to you, Les, that she made it to the park. And,
absolutely.
That's
never been recognised in any sort of way like that.
I'm going to write to her write to them, let them know that
please.
It was down to you that she made it.
Yes, but if it's an award or anything like that, I'll see if I'm busy, but I'll try to make time anyway.
Cheers, Les.
Okay, no problem, Trev.
The Hanslope Show Podcast. Your village, your podcast. It's all about Hanslope.